Hello everyone, my name's Martin Hendry and welcome to this short talk on the Advocacy and Outreach Group of the LISA Consortium. I'm grateful to my colleagues Sasha Rieger, Suzanne Milde, Simon Barker and Kelly Holly Bockelman for their help in putting these slides together. So I'm the co-chair of the LISA Advocacy and Outreach Working Group, usually referred to as Advoreach. My fellow co-chair is Kelly. And this slide just gives a brief summary of our mission statement. We aim to coordinate communication and regular exchange of information within the consortium itself. I'll say more about that shortly. We also coordinate communication with outreach projects and activities carried out by other gravitational wave communities, such as LIGO and Virgo and Nanograv, and also then beyond that, outreach to the wider astronomical community. And our goal in all of that is to advocate for LISA and to emphasize the complementarity of LISA science to other areas of astronomy. We are also heavily involved in promoting and raising awareness of LISA with other non-scientific audiences, specifically the general public, but also more focused audiences too, such as journalists, politicians, and other decision makers. And key to conveying that message is to make sure that it's not just about the science that LISA will produce, but also the remarkable technology that underpins and enables that science. So our contact details for the Advoreach Group are given there, and they'll appear on a number of subsequent slides as well. So the purpose of this talk is just to give some short updates on what the Advoreach Group does. Firstly, I'll say a few words about our general approach to communications and identify what some of our priority projects are, and then briefly just give a little more detail on a subset of those priority projects. So you can see them listed there, and I'll get going on that. So in terms of our overall strategy and approach to communications, we recognise that successful communications does require a strategy, that we need to think through carefully what our key messages are and who our key stakeholders are. We want those messages to be tailored in different parts of the world on different scales, local, regional, national, continental, and consequently to think through all that and implement all of that is a task that the Advoreach Group is charged with, but we carry out that task in close liaison with the leadership of the LISA Consortium. And of course, we have to constantly review and update the strategy as we go along. But here are just a couple of bullet points that try to give a sense of what the key messages within that strategy are. We absolutely want to give people a sense of what LISA is and why it's important. And as I mentioned before, to highlight the crucial, almost mind-bogglingly impressive LISA technology in terms of the hardware, but also the software and analysis that's carried out to help enable the science to come that's captured in the LISA science case. We see the purpose of our communication strategy to keep people informed and interested in the status of the mission and its evolving timeline, and also, of course, to tell them about how they can get involved, so to give them a sense of what the organisational structure and activities of the LISA Consortium are. We also recognise the responsibility we have within Advoreach to kind of raise the bar, if you like, of the communications capabilities of the consortium as a whole. So key to that is to provide training opportunities for our colleagues so that they can feel comfortable engaging in professional, well-polished communications activities with the wider community, be that other scientists or the general public or some of the other stakeholders that we mentioned. So there's a great deal of work going on. These are some of our major current projects, and the ones that I've ticked in green are ones that I'm going to say a little bit more about in my remaining time. But the main thing to emphasize here is that if you'd like to work with us on LISA Communications, then please get in touch via the email address given at the bottom of the slide. So in my remaining time, I'm just going to walk you through a few examples of current and ongoing activities, and to highlight both some of the ways in which you can get involved, but also to just give an update on where we are and what's coming next. So I'll begin with the LISA Consortium website. This has been a priority for us over the last year, and we're looking to formally relaunch it later this year, if we can get that done before the end of the calendar year. So our first goal was to modernise the design, and that's basically done. And we developed, largely led by Sasha and Simon, 2 functional prototypes, and there was a clear winner when we put those 2 prototypes to the consortium, and you can see that here. So a very clean and rather elegant design style. But of course, what we've got to do is to now populate the redesigned website, and that's the stage we're at now. It's work in progress. We're in the process of collecting input from working groups as the basis for writing new text. And the basic formula is to have a short overview for each topic that's followed by a subpage of more in-depth information. And well, to help push that along, we're keen to form a website editorial team, and we're looking for volunteers from all areas of LISA work to feed into that. So if you'd like to be a website editor, then again, drop us an email to advoreach-chairs@lisamission.org. So the next topic I want to focus on briefly is our consortium logo competition. So again, with thanks to Sasha for putting these slides together. I'm delighted to say that we received more than 80 entries. So when we launched this within the consortium, we set out some clear guidelines and guidance. We wanted to make it clear that we were looking for a consortium logo, so that the logo should explicitly capture that. In other words, we're not looking to have a logo that could be confused with the ESA or NASA mission logo. But indeed, you know, the logo could still use satellites or lasers or other features that people would regard as absolutely quintessential to do with LISA. And we wanted to have a logo that would work well in both dark and light backgrounds, but really everything else was up to the consortium to devise their ideas. And as I said, more than 80 entries. Here's just a few of them presented here. We're delighted that we got such a rich variety. You can probably guess that there's one in there that maybe wasn't quite so serious as a suggestion, although it certainly did make us laugh. But there's plenty to work with here, and we look forward to the next stages, which is to choose a winner. It is going to be a big challenge, but we want to shortlist, and then the whole consortium will choose our official logo in a vote from that shortlist. So we envisage that shortlisting will be done by a volunteer panel of about 12 to 16 consortium members. And basically we're looking for nominations to join that volunteer panel. So you can nominate yourself or you can nominate someone else. And we intend to proceed with this in the coming months, and really as quickly as we can. We want to get to the point where there will be this consortium-wide vote conducted online, and the 3 highest ranked logos will then be recommended to the consortium board, who will have the final say, but nonetheless we want to make the process as open and transparent as possible. Okay, the next topic I just want to briefly touch on is our internal communications within the consortium and the wider LISA community. As many people watching this will probably know already, we have consortium telecons on Mondays at 1700 Central European Time. That's 1500 UTC. And the standard agenda for our consortium telecons is to begin with about the first half of the call, covering consortium updates, space agency news, informing the consortium about upcoming meetings, etc. And then we have a special topic that's drawn from all aspects of LISA science and technology and the working groups, typically 15 to 20 minutes, but with lots of time for questions. And what we're planning to roll out very soon is an extension of what we trialed at the last LISA Consortium meeting just a few weeks ago. And that was a series of short focus questions answered by experts, which had been voted on by the consortium themselves. And we believe that this will generate a really rich and very valuable frequently asked questions resource that can be used by consortium members to help keep them informed of some really quite fundamental questions and issues around the mission. Now, on the intervening weeks between the consortium calls, we have a community telecon. And this isn't exclusively the responsibility of the consortium to organise, but in fact, it's a number of colleagues within the Advoreach Group and a few more outside who have generally taken the lead on this. and we're delighted that it's worked so well. The agenda is similar, but of course there may be some items that can't be shared with the wider community, that they're for consortium members only. But whatever we can share, we try to convey in a concise way to keep that wider community properly informed on how the consortium is proceeding. We again will have that special topic format. And I suppose, to be honest, at least from my perspective, I would like to think that these community calls will be an open invitation to get those attending the community calls who are not at that point in the consortium thinking about, well, should I join? What does the consortium offer me? So hopefully these calls are a good way to give a short window to what the consortium offers. And if you'd like to offer a special topic talk, we're always keen to hear from you volunteer speakers. Again, drop us an email to the web address there. LISA Multimedia and Social Media, that's very much an ongoing project for us. But let me just emphasize that we would greatly welcome more followers for our LISA community Twitter account. We also have a LISA Mission YouTube channel. In fact, many of these videos are going to appear on that YouTube channel after the symposium. And we'd like to also note that we've got a very nice new movie about the LISA mission that we prepared for the EES meeting back in June. That was held jointly, an exhibit on gravitational wave astronomy that was held jointly with our colleagues in LIGO and Nanograph. So finally, just to wrap things up, I want to emphasize that there's lots to do in Advoreach, and we would greatly welcome more consortium members willing to help us. So to help you to make a decision as to whether you can contribute and in what areas, we realize that a big responsibility for the Advoreach Group is to define some work packages. So that's a work in progress as well, but it's very nearly done. We expect to have those work packages ready in just a few weeks' time, and we'll advertise around the consortium when they're ready, and we'll encourage our colleagues to take a close look at them, to look at the tasks that we're laying out there that need to be done to push forward the projects of the Advoreach Group. So I've highlighted a few of them today, generally things which are well advanced, but there's others that really we haven't even really started yet. So we would greatly welcome more help, and especially from colleagues across a range of areas within LISA, so that we can draw upon that rich and broad experience of the consortium to contribute to conveying those messages about the consortium's work to the wider public and beyond. So again, please do get in touch if you would like to help, and we look forward to hearing from some of you in the future. All the best. Bye.